Hello and welcome. So we of course are having technical difficulties because live streaming. Do me a favor, chat with me, let me know you can see me, let me know you can hear me. I had some problems. I don't know where I was live streaming, but I was talking for about 10 minutes to like nobody. So I love it when that happens. So my apologies for being a little late. Awesome, you guys can see me, fantastic, it's working, that's great. Don't know what was happening before, but I was live streaming somewhere. I don't know where I was live streaming, but I was live streaming somewhere. So somewhere, like someone in a country somewhere was watching me like, hello, is anybody there? Okay, cool. Hey James, hey Tubewings, hey Scorned One, how you guys doing? Desire Mark, okay, I'm just gonna call you Mark because that's easier. Hey Mark, how you doing? So let's get started. Let's get this thing going. I know we're a little late, and again, my apologies. I thought I was live streaming, but I don't know if I was or not. Who knows? Yes, awesome. Hey, Blackjack Player, good to see you. Fantastic. Okay, so now that we know that we are up and running, let's get this party started. Welcome back to Vegas Aces Open Classroom live stream. I'm Heather Ferris with Vegas Aces, and today I'm going to be teaching you guys Mini-Baccarat. How to play Mini-Baccarat, how to deal Mini-Baccarat, mainly how to play Mini-Baccarat. When you're a dealer, you have to know how the game is played in order to deal it, so a lot of our training is just how to play the game. Scorned One, it sucks that I missed the Texas Hold'em tournament, but I was busy. Well, we'll have plenty of tournaments. We have tournaments every Monday, so if you miss a tournament, no worries. You can always show up in one of the other ones. Before we get started, I just want to remind you guys to subscribe. Make sure you hit that notification bell so you're always notified of our latest videos and live streams. My next live stream is our Mini-Baccarat tournament, speaking of which. And that will be held on Monday, September 23rd at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So feel free to join us. The first, let's see, 7 players. Yeah, first 7 players are going to get in. We're not going to be doubling up anymore. So as soon as we get our allocated amount, we're closing off the tournament. And then we're going to get started. So make sure you're there on time, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Now, for merchandise, we are doing merchandise. So I am creating a shop right now. We are going to be doing t-shirts, mugs, stickers, pillows, all sorts of stuff. We have a lot of fun sayings and everything that we're going to be putting up. Some really cool ones. My favorite is the Game of Thrones one. We have a Game of Thrones meme shirt. You guys know Tyrion. Let's see, I think his quote is, that's what I do. I drink and I know things. Well, it's a little bit of a play off of that. So we have something similar to that, but it's going to be casino style. So I'm really excited to get those out there. And we're going to start giving those away for prizes for our tournaments. So instead of the dice that I normally have, which I have around here somewhere, but I can't see them. So instead of the dice we normally give out, we'll give you a shirt or a mug or sticker or whatever it is that is in our shop. So that's going to be coming up here pretty soon. We are working on it at the moment, but we got a contest. So if you think of a really cool shirt idea, hat idea, anything similar to that you would like to put on a piece of clothing or merchandise or that type of a thing, let me know. Send it over my way, heather@vegas-aces.com. If we like it and we put it on our shirts, we will send you that merchandise for free. So I'll be like, hey, do you want a shirt? Do you want a mug? Well, what would you like? That kind of thing. We have several different people who have already submitted their stuff. We have a lot of good ideas, so we're looking forward to that, and we're going to have multiple winners. It's not just going to be one winner. If we use your item, you are a winner and you will get the merchandise for free. The contest ends on October 1st, so we should have our winners announced before then. Magpie, hey Magpie, how you doing? Good to see you. Thank you, I very much appreciate that. Thank you so much. And just so you know, you can always come on these live streams, ask me any questions you want. I'm here for you guys, I'm here to help you. So just let me know what I could do for you. Okay, so we got all of the merchandise stuff out of the way, but we still have to get Super Chat and Patreon done, so let me do this real quick. Again, while we're getting everybody in here, if you guys have any questions on Mini-Baccarat, go ahead and put them in the comments. Remember to tip your dealer, and now you can with Super Chat. Super Chat is a way YouTube allows you to show your appreciation by tipping me any amount you want. Give it a try, or you can show your support by becoming a member of our Patreon page today. You could choose any level that you want, even $1. Any level counts, any membership level counts. So become a Patreon member today. Okay. Kilo. Hey Kilo, how you doing? Hi there. 5 Treasures Baccarat is killing me. Why is it killing you? Tell us about it. So 5 Treasures Baccarat is sort of a different variation of Mini-Baccarat. When you are out in a casino, you typically won't find just Mini-Baccarat anymore. You'll usually find Mini-Baccarat with a whole bunch of side bets. We're going to talk about a few of them today, like Panda 8, Dragon 7. Or like what he's talking about, 5 Treasures Baccarat's a different variation of Mini-Baccarat. But they're all pretty much, the core of the game is all pretty much the same. So if you understand the core of the game, it'll be much easier to understand the different variations out there than if you didn't know the game at all. Hey Dane, how you doing? Good to see you. I hope you got my message reply, my email reply. Very nice to see you. I think you replied back to me, so I will send you off those dice here as soon as I can. Congratulations, by the way. I love how you won. That was funny. Okay, so let us get into it. Okay, so Mini-Baccarat. Mini-Baccarat is basically a game that is played throughout many different countries all around the world. And because of that, like we were talking about, there are several different versions. Now, it's not just the versions that we were talking about with the different side bets and everything. We have actual, like, different variations. And they're really old, too. So the one that America Mini-Baccarat most closely is most closely associated with is called Punto Banco. Punto means player, Banco means banker. And this is a version of Baccarat that is played in America, Canada, Australia, United Kingdom, and Macau. Again, like I said, Punto means player, Banco means banker. And on that game, the players are betting against the casino and not against any of the other players. The rules for drawing the third card are fixed and they must always be followed. So that's Punto Banco. You can see how it's very similar to the Mini-Baccarat that we play in casinos today. Next up is Chemin de Fer. And if you check out some of my earlier videos, I actually do a video on Chemin de Fer and explain the differences and everything. But this is the version of Baccarat that is played in Europe, France, and Latin America. In this game, the players bet against the other players, so it's players versus players. And the players are also allowed to choose when they want to draw a third card. Or if they don't want to draw a third card, they don't have to. Now, if there are multiple people on the table, they can always piggyback, but the person with the highest bet, they're the ones that decide whether to draw the third card or not. Now, you will usually see Chemin de Fer, this type of game, in James Bond movies, where it's player against player, and then the player's the one that decides whether to draw the third card or not. In these games, I'm clearing my hands. I'm going to touch my hair, and I just cleared my hands. I love that. Okay. So I hate it when I do that, like in a grocery store too, because then people are looking at me weird, like, what the heck are you doing? And I'm like, I'm, messing with my hair and everything, so I gotta clear my hands. Okay, went on a little rant there. So, like I said, in Chemin de Fer and in Punto Banco, basically Big Baccarat, the cards are only used once before being discarded. So you don't really have to worry about players marking the cards when they're touching the cards, because the cards are only used one time and then they are discarded, so the player could rip them up, they can fold them, they could do whatever they want, and then they're thrown away after that. So again, both Punto Banco and Chemin de Fer can be played on both a small or a large table, ranging from 8 to 12 people. Depending on the size, there could be anywhere from 1 to 3 dealers. And again, like I said, you could see how big Baccarat takes after that. In American casinos, this is what we were talking about, there are 3 types of Baccarat: Mini-Baccarat, Mini-Baccarat, and Big Baccarat. So like I was telling you before, Big Baccarat, American version, this is played on a large table with 3 dealers, similar to craps where you have 3 dealers. And not only can the players touch their cards, they can also bend them, tear them, that kind of thing as well, because again, in Big Baccarat, the cards are only used once and then they're thrown away. Now, Mini-Baccarat is this game. This is what we're teaching you today. And it's played on a smaller table where the dealer is in control of the cards, and it's players versus dealer, not player versus player. Mini-Baccarat is a combination of the two. Now, let me know if you guys have any questions so far. Let's see what you guys are saying in the chat. Scorned 1, Casino Royale. Yes, that was one of the James Bond movies. Two Beans. How many cards would you say they go through in Baccarat in a single day? That really just depends on a lot of different factors. It depends if they have players on the table or not. So in Big Baccarat, this is usually played in the high limit area, and if anyone who's dealt in the high limit area knows, a majority of the time you're just sitting on a dead table. You're not really doing anything. You're waiting for the high rollers or the whales to come in. If the high roller whales are in, they could be playing, say, for 8 hours, an entire shift. And that would be continuous, and that's when you would figure out, okay, how many, decks are they going through. I don't know per se the exact number of cards or decks that are thrown away. I do know that if they're playing on the table for 8 hours straight, it could be a lot. So that might be something we can ask Jay next time he's on here. Hey Slotshot, how you doing? Good to see you. Let me know if you guys have any more questions. I think we're going to continue. Now, the object of Mini-Baccarat, the object of the game, is you want to bet on the hand that you think is going to receive the highest total value. And that is closest to the number 9. So do you think banker is going to get closer to 9, or do you think player is going to get closer to 9? And then you have those options to choose from. So if you think player is going to get closer to 9, you could bet on player, and if player wins, you get paid. Same thing with banker. You could bet the banker is going to be closer to 9, and if banker's closer to 9, then you win. And of course the tie right here. So if player gets, say, natural 8, banker gets natural 8, and we'll talk about that here pretty shortly. If both of them have natural 8, that's a natural tie, or a tie, and then that's when the tie wins. And we'll talk about that more later on. So Flag Dude, whatever you do, don't play the center spot on the table. Doesn't the layout dude know how to skip and go to 8? Yes, so we are going to be talking about that a little later. For those of you who don't know what Flag Dude is talking about, you are absolutely correct. This is one of my old Mini-Baccarat layouts that I used to use when I was learning how to deal. And you are absolutely correct. There should be no number 4 on the table. But again, we will go over that here in just a little bit, and actually pretty shortly. So the player has 3 options that they could choose from to make a bet: the player, the banker, and the tie. Now, the house edge on Mini-Baccarat is 1.06% for the banker, 1.24% for the player, and 14.36% for the tie. So as you can see, 14.36%, that's pretty high. Don't really want to play the tie then. Banker had a much better house edge at 1.06%. The reason why is actually, if you do a whole 8-deck shoe and you go through all of the hands, you might notice that there are more banker bets than there are player bets. So because banker wins more often, the casino has put sort of an edge on it, and that's their house edge. So every time the player wins, they have to pay a vig or a commission for that winning bet. And we'll go over that a little bit more in just a second. And then also too, if you notice, it's 9 for 1, so the tie pays 9 for 1. On some layouts, it pays 8 to 1. Now, 8 to 1 is exactly the same thing as 9 for 1. So when I say 8 to 1, if the player has a dollar bet and it gets paid 8 to 1, you get 8 chips to that one chip. So for that one chip, you get 8 chips. Now 9 for 1, if you have a dollar chip, you get paid $9, 9 for 1, like so, $9 for that $1 chip. So the dealer will take that dollar chip away. Whatever you won, whatever bet you won, that will be taken, and then you'll be paid the $9. So you could see how 9 for 1 is exactly the same thing as 8 to 1. And you'll see that a lot on craps too, especially on the proposition bets. Okay, let's see what you guys are saying in the chat real quick. Oh, good. I didn't miss much right there. Okay, cool. Hey, Malik. How you doing? Good to see you. Hey, Vince. What's up, Vince? How you doing? Nice to see you. The best game on the planet. 1% hot. It's good for me, especially when there are casinos offering daily double and triple tier points on top of the daily reward credits up to 100 times. Yep, I agree with Vince. Plus, too, some of them have jackpots, progressive jackpots. That makes it enticing as well. Oh, HA is House Advantage. Okay. Yeah, like we were just saying with the house edge, 1.06 for the banker, 1.24 for the player, and then 14.36 for the tie. Tie not so good, but the banker was really good. I agree, Malik. It does not help when it comes to dealing out the game. Yeah, the casino near you offers a dragon bonus. We'll be talking more about dragon bonuses here pretty soon. So Kilo says, for dealers pay for 5 treasured Baccarat bonus before the banker or player bet or after the banker or player bet. Okay, so I think what you're asking is for the take and pay procedure. On any game, any casino game, it doesn't matter what the casino game is, you always, always, always pay or take the main bet, and then you pay or take the side bets. So the side bets will never get paid or taken before the main bet. The main bet will always get paid or taken, and then the side bets will be either paid or taken depending on what happened. Okay, so let's continue. Now, like Flag Dude was saying before, if you look closely at any Baccarat table in any casino, not this one doesn't count, but any other one, you may notice a few different things. And one of those things is the number 4 is generally missing from the table. Now, because 4 is missing, you'll normally see that the number 8 is added. Now, why did they do this? Now, for most people who are playing on this game, they typically come from the Asian culture. And in Asia, certain, I think it's Mandarin, don't quote me on that, but one of the Asian languages, when you say 4 in their language, it sounds similar to the word death. And that makes the number 4 a very unlucky number. So they took the number 4 out and then they put the number 8 in. Now, if you say 8 in that language, that sounds really similar to the word prosperity or wealth. So 8 is a very lucky number. So you will typically see players fighting for the number 8 spot because they want to be in the wealthy or the lucky spot. If there's a 4 on the table, let's say if we're using this layout, and this layout does have a number 4 on here, if you see a number 4 on the table, nobody will bet that spot. No one will play that spot. They'll never touch it. That's why the casino took out the number 4 and put in the number 8. Also, too, if you're in some casinos, check it out, the floors. So when you go in the elevator and you're going in the floors, you'll notice a lot of floors missing, not just floor number 13, because for us it's an unlucky number, but you'll also notice 4s missing. So there won't be a 40th floor, there won't be a 4th floor, that type of a thing. Hey Nathan, how you doing? Thank you so much for showing up. I'm glad you made it. Yes. Yeah, Vince, 4 is a bad luck number. Piggybackers are constantly bothering. Yep, on spot number 8. Everyone wants to be on spot number 8. Martin. Hey Martin, how you doing? Yep, the Sahara or SLS tower does not have a 4th floor, and that's the reason why. Yeah, I believe there is a 14th floor. It's just the numbers 4 and then all pretty much the 40s. So 40, 41, 42, 43, all of those. Okay, so let's continue. So the dealer will deal out 2 cards each. 1 set will go to the player and 1 set will go to the banker, like so. And each set will be added up to figure out who has closest to the number 9. Because remember, whoever gets closer to the number 9, they win. Now, let's talk about adding up the value real quick. So as you can see here, I dealt out a 10 and a 17. Well, in Mini-Baccarat, they don't have the 10's place value when they're adding up the totals. So 17, the 1 is knocked off because they don't use 10 place values, and therefore that 17 now just turned into a 7. So similarly, because we have a 10 right here, the 1 is knocked off, and that leaves this to be a 0. So in our hand, we have 7 versus 0. And we'll go over how to read the cards as we go on, but always remember that if it has a 10's place value, you always knock the 10's place value off, and then you just go with whatever the single digit is. So if the single digit is 6, 16, and 26, then all 3 of those are all 6, like the total value is 6. So the Buffalo City Hall does have a 13th floor. Oh, that's pretty interesting. Yes, Vince, 10 equals 0. Exactly. Malik, my apartment back in China, it doesn't have 4, 14, or 24 also. That's pretty interesting. Now, I'm assuming that's because it was in China, right? But that's where it originated from. So, yeah, I could see why they wouldn't have 14, 24, 34, 44, that type of thing. Or probably any of the 40s floors. Yeah, not only in gambling. It's always interesting. I like hearing what other cultures do and how it's different and, the stories behind it. I always found that very fascinating. Okay, so let's continue. So next up is the take and pay procedure. So after we figure out whether it's the player who got 9 or the banker who got 9, then we do the take and pay procedure. So if the player won, the player gets even money. Player gets 1-to-1 on their bet. Now, if the banker won, let's say the banker had $20, he gets paid 1-to-1 on his bet, but he has to pay a 5% commission, like what we were talking about before. So on $20, the 5% commission would be $1. Now, when you're dealing this game, how do you figure out what the 5% commission is? Well, it's a really easy way to figure it out. You just do it by units. You don't do it by the actual dollar amount because that might get confusing, and that's a lot of math. You don't have to do all that math. You just have to know what the units pay. So every $5 unit, the 5% on that is 25 cents. So they have to pay a quarter for every $5 that they play. That's why $20 is $1, because that's 4 units. So if that was 4 quarters, that's $1. So $25 pays $1.25, 50 pays $2.50, and then $100 pays $5 for commission. Now, with all of these variations and side bets that you see going on, especially in Las Vegas, for example, face-up Pai Gow Poker. A lot of these games don't charge commission, so you don't have to worry about the 5% commission on these games. But if, for example, you are on a game like face-up Pai Gow Poker, if the dealer... Oh, now we're talking about Pai Gow Poker. I don't know how I got on Pai Gow Poker. Ha! That's my brain for you. I like Pai Gow Poker. Okay, nix that. We are not talking about Pai Gow Poker. We are talking about Mini-Baccarat. Welcome to live streaming, where you can make a fool of yourself in front of everyone for free and live. Okay, we are not talking about Pai Gow Poker. So nix everything I just said about Pai Gow Poker. Let's see what you guys are saying in the chat real quick. Oh, right. And then, of course, the tie pays 9 for 1 or 8 to 1. Finishing up that thought. But there are some Baccarat games where they don't have commission. It's no commission Baccarat. Hey Tom, how you doing? Good evening. Good to see you. So Tom asks, where do you record these videos? Do you have all of these different full-size tables in your home? Well, you're right about one thing. I am in my home. So this is my living room. Oh my God. Everything that I've done for the videos, every video you see on my YouTube channel, it was done pretty much in my living room. So my living room is my studio. I have my black curtains up so you can't see anything that's going on here, but I have my snake Shiva. She's over here in this area. I can't show you because the curtains are closed and they're locked together, so I can't pull them apart. And then I have a bunch of crap over here that I hide with my curtains. And then this is my studio where I do all of my shooting. So yes, makes it very easy to come to work when I live at home. When I work from home, it makes it very easy to work. Let's see here. Oh, but it makes it really hard to invite people over. So if anyone wants to come over, I'm like, I don't have a couch for you. We might have a table. Let me clean it up because I have all of my projects and everything on there. So that makes it fun. Malik, I found more and more casinos do no commission Baccarat. Amazingly, no commission Baccarat comes with an even higher house edge. Yes, exactly. That's a very, very good point, Malik. So if you do see a game, Mini-Baccarat or Pai Gow Poker, any of those with the different variations, they typically have a higher house edge. Not always, but for the most part, they typically have a higher house edge than the original game. Oh yeah, it's one table with several layouts. Yeah, Felicia, thank you very much. So I got one table. It's this nice table that I've been using all these years. And then I have a whole bunch of table layouts over here, like a lot of table layouts. And then I just switch out the layouts whenever I need to do a different game. Flag Dude, probably talking about the VIG and how it's charged, whether on win or at the end of the shoot. That's a great question, Flag Dude. So it depends on what casino you're working at. Now, there are some casinos when you're doing Mini-Baccarat and you have to take the VIG or the commission out of the winning bet right away. So if let's say if you have $20, for example, over here, if the player doesn't give you the dollar commission, because that makes it easy, then you have to take it out of their winning bet. So instead of paying the player $20, you would pay the player $19. And then that $1 is taken out, so that way the commission is already taken out and then they get the money. But the thing with doing that is it makes the game slow, and if you have a slower hands per hour, that means the casino's making less money. So they want to get those hands per hour up, and that's the one really nice thing about no commission Baccarat. Even though there's no commission and the casino's not getting that commission, because they get more hands out per hour, they actually increase their profits from that game. Along with some of them having a higher house edge, of course, but not too much higher. Martin, I will now explain a different game perfectly. Awesome, we're waiting. Oh good, glad you guys are still following. Okay, great question, John. Fantastic. Okay, so here is John's question. Do they ever round up or down for the commission? Yes, you are absolutely correct. So this is called breakage. The casino will round up or down in the casino's favor. And it really just depends on what game they're doing on it and what's going on, whether they round up or down. But usually it's in the casino's favor. So if you're doing breakage, let's say if you're betting, let's do 15, 18, 19, 18, 20, 18, 50. Okay, so let's say you're betting $18.50 on Banker, and Banker wins, okay? And you have to do the commission on that, but that's a really odd amount. Well, what you would do is you would take the commission out normally. So $15, a $15 commission would be 75 cents. And then we have $3.50 here. So what would happen is the $3.50 would be rounded up to $5, and that would be a dollar commission. So even though the bet pays $18.50, you're not getting the full $20. It's still rounded up in the casino's favor, and you have to pay that extra small amount for that commission. And yeah, so that's called breakage. They do that on craps too. I think that's the one that rounds down, but either way, it's in the casino's favor. Yes, James, I have a snake. Her name is Shiva. She is 15 years old. I've had her since she was 6 months old, so I've had her for 15 years. And she is approximately about 5 feet long. She is a ball python. She has a sunning area over here, and then I have a little climbing tower for her. If you go on Instagram, my personal Instagram page, which is, what's my personal Instagram? It's at Heather_Ferris_. So that's my personal Instagram. If you scroll down a bit, you'll see Shiva in one of the videos, and she's in her little climbing tower, and you could check her out. And I've talked about her in some of the other live streams before. I've actually showed you guys her. So yep, that's Shiva. I got 2 pets, Shiva and Pip. Well, not necessarily Scorned One. So Scorned One says if the variations didn't have a higher house edge, the casinos would not bother with them. That's not necessarily true. So like what I was saying before with the no commission Baccarat, because there's no commission, you don't have to spend so much time doing the commission, and you get more hands per hour. Because you get more hands per hour, you actually get more money from the table than if you were just taking the commission off. So that increased hands per hour increases the profits for the casinos, even though they're not taking that extra commission amount. Oh, that's interesting, Malik. They do let you bet 50 cents on the table. You just get paid 50 cents or $1, and then you have to pay an increased amount on the commission. So it's not viable. It's not a good thing to do. But they'll take your money. They'll take all of it. It's a casino. Yeah, or 25 cents, depending on the game. That's true. It's a policy, and it depends on the casino. Oh, you're talking about craps. Okay, I see what you're saying. Okay, cool. So let us continue. Like we were talking about before with the different variations in no commission Baccarat, another variation for Baccarat is Easy Baccarat. This is one of the most popular no commission games right now, and it has a house edge of 1.02%. On this game, all banker bets push, and the banker wins with a 3-card 7. Now, the dealers, when they're doing this, they have to memorize a certain chart that is given to them by the house. And typically all houses or all casinos follow the same chart. But just in case, you have to follow the one they give you. Now, the player's hand will always go first. So we're dealing out the cards. player's hand will always go first, and then depending on what happens with the player, the banker's hand will do their thing. Now this isn't a good example because I got a natural 9. Well, I guess it is a good example. So here is a natural 9. So the very first 2 cards that came out was a 9. This is a natural 9. A natural 9 is an automatic winner. So with the last 2 cards that came out, the player had a natural 9, which is an automatic winner, and the banker has a 10. So remember, we dropped the 1 place value, the 10's place value. So we dropped the 1, and that's a 0. So this hand is 0 versus 9, and that's why player wins 9 over 0. Now, when you're the dealer, you're always going to say player 9 over 0. You're never going to say player wins. You're never going to see banker loses. And again, the reason why is cultural. So we have to think about the people who are playing this game, and we have to be respectful to them. And one of the things in that culture is saving face. They want to save face. And one of the things, if a dealer did this, this would be disgraceful. So if a dealer was like, oh, 9 wins, and all you guys are losers who did banker. Oh, look at all you losers, 9 won. That's very disrespectful. That's horrible. Never do that. But it's not as overt as that example. But if you say 9 wins, blah, 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 that's disrespectful. That would cause them to lose their face, and that would make them not want to play the game. And we want people to play. We want people to be on our table for as long as possible. We want them to feel comfortable. We want them to be happy. So we don't want to make them feel uncomfortable or put them in any weird predicaments or anything. So the dealer will never say win or lose. Instead, the dealer will say 9 over 0. So player shows natural 9, banker has 0, player natural 9 over 0. And if you go to my website, vegas-aces.com, if you go to the article section, under the Baccarat part, I have in there on how to deal Mini-Baccarat, and you could see all of this written down in there. So that way you can practice it, and you can double check, and you can make sure that you're saying it accurately. So again, player shows whatever the amount is. So player shows natural 9. Banker has, so banker has, and then whatever amount. So banker has 0. And then you do who wins first, but never say wins. So 9 is the winner. So we say player natural 9 over 0. Okay, so let's see here. So after the player or the banker have a natural 9, there are no more cards drawn. That's it. And the one who gets closest to 9 is the winner. So if you have the player who has natural 9 and the banker has natural 8, even though they both have a natural, because the player's closer to 9, the player wins. Again, don't say win or lose, but you know what I'm talking about. Now, a natural hand can only occur on the first 2 cards. So if you hit the 3rd card and you get a 9 or an 8, that's not a natural hand. That's just an 8 or a 9. Hey, how you doing? Pip is over here wanting my attention. I think she wants a treat. She's just sitting here looking at a tree. So let's do her a favor. And let's give her the treat that she's wanting. So you guys can have a little distraction up here on the table. Come here. Oh, there you go. There you go. Okay. So let's see what you guys are saying real quick. Okay, so you guys are all good. By the way, hey Anton, how you doing? Good to see you. Okay, so let's continue. So again, the player will always go first, and if the player's first 2 cards are 0 through 5, then they will always hit that 3rd card. So 0 through 5, they'll always hit that 3rd card. 6 and 7, they'll always stand, An 8 and 9 are a natural hand, which are natural winners. The banker will then draw his third card based on what happened with the player's hand. So really what happens with the banker really depends on what happens with the player. What is it, Pip? Are you looking for more? Don't show everybody your rump. Come here. Okay. Bye, guys. See you later. Bye. See you. Bye-bye. Oh, no, you're not getting another treat. She thinks she's going to get another treat. She's not getting another treat. Okay. So the banker will basically figure out what he's doing based on what the player does. When the player stands on a 6 and a 7, the banker will draw a third card if their first two cards equal a 0 through 5, and then they'll stand on a 6 through 9. If the banker's first two cards equal a 0 through 2, then they'll hit that third card. If the banker has a 3, then they'll only hit if the player's third card is anything but an 8. So if it's an 8, they won't hit again. But if it's anything but an 8, then they'll hit that 3. And again, like I said, the 0 through 2, that's just normally. So don't let me confuse you. Again, if you have any questions, go to my website, vegas-aces.com, under the articles where it says Mini-Baccarat, how to deal Mini-Baccarat. This is all down there for you to see, and then you can get a clearer understanding of what's going on. And I'll say it too when I'm dealing out the cards. It's just easier for the dealer to say it when they're going through it. It makes it easier for the dealer, it makes it easier for the players. So next up is if the banker's first two cards equal a 4, then they'll hit the third card if the player's third card is a 2 through 7. If the banker's first two cards are a 5, they'll hit for the third card if the player's third card is a 4 through 7. And if the banker is a 6, then they'll hit a third card if the player's third card is a 6 or a 7. If the banker has a 7, then they are going to stand. And if they have an 8 or a 9, these are natural hands and they are natural winners. Now, the Dragon 7 is a side bet. So is it's also known as the Tiger 7, so it could be one of two names, either the Dragon 7 or the Tiger 7. And this side bet pays 40 to 1 if the banker gets a winning 3-card 7. So if the banker's 3 cards equal 7 and it wins, then that side bet wins, and it wins 40 to 1. Now, the house edge for Dragon 7 or Tiger 7 is 7.61%, so it's pretty high. It's about up there with, roulette with 3 zeros, so it's pretty high. Next up is Panda 8, and Panda 8 wins 25 to 1 if the player gets a winning 3-card 8. So same thing, if they have 3 cards that equal 8 and it's a winning hand, then that Panda 8 will get paid 25 to 1. Now the house edge for Panda 8 is 10.19%. 10.19%. So let's see what you guys are saying real fast. Okay, so slot shot, when is the third card dealt? We just went over that. I'll go over a couple hands too so you can see what it looks like. But hopefully you get the idea by the time this video is over. Hey, Anton, cool. Yeah, place your pet, please. By the way, Malik, that meme that we made, that we have up, we're going to put that on a shirt. So that will be one of our designs for our shirt. Felicia. Am I saying that right? Let me know if I'm saying that right. I'm butchering everybody's name, so let me know if I'm saying that right or not, and I'll try to change it. Felicia says, is it acceptable to say player banker hits? In my school, they said absolutely not. They said to use card for, so card for banker, card for player. It really just depends on the casino. card 4 is a more professional way of doing that. Again, you want to be careful of your language when you're dealing this game. So card 4 is perfectly acceptable way of saying, you know, banker hits, player hits. At other casinos, it doesn't matter. So the casino that I was basically taught at, my break-in house, you could say dealer hits, you could say player hits, you could say, you know, card for another card for the player, another card for the banker. Like, they didn't really care. They just cared about, don't say player wins, don't say banker loses. When you say it, you say player shows, banker has, player, you know, whatever number over banker. And that's what we were taught. So when I was dealing, I never said player hits, banker hits. I just dealt it out. So it really just depends on the casino you're at. Just keep silent once you are ultimately put on tables. Dummy up and deal. That was the most favorite way for dealers to deal for plenty of years. And now they understand not to do that. Okay, so let's go through a couple rounds. It's 3 p.m., so we are not going to be too much longer, maybe 15 more minutes before we end the live stream. So let's use these 15 minutes to show you a couple rounds so you guys get an idea of how to play the game. So we have our bets out, do a couple ties as well. The dealer will deal out the cards. Oh, that's another thing too. When you're dealing this game and the players are making their bets, you'll say bets, no more bets, and then you'll take out the cards. But you have to do that. You have to be bets and then say no more bets. And the no more bets is important because once you start dealing out the cards, once the first card is out, that's it. They're done. They can't make any more bets. They can't change them. They can't raise them. They can't lower them. They can't do anything like that. So as a dealer on this game, it's good for you to say bets and then no more bets and then start dealing out the card. So no more bets and then you start dealing out the card. Player shows nothing. Banker has 3. Both draw a card. So player has nothing. So remember, if they don't have anything, if they have a 0 through 5, because we always start off with the player first, if they have a 0 through 5, they're always going to hit. So we're going to hit this because they have a 0. So they hit and they get a 9, which is fantastic because now the player has a 9, which is the best number that they could get. So now we're going over to the player, or the banker. The banker has a 3. Now, if you remember in the list, you know, the third card rule list that I was going over with you guys, if the banker has a 3, they'll hit on anything except an 8. So if this was an 8, then we couldn't hit and we would just have to stay. But because this is not an 8, now I can hit this banker and hopefully we get a 6. We do not get a 6, we get a king. So that means player, it's player 9 over 3. And the player would win. Because player won, we have to take all of the losing bets first, and then we pay the winner. So all of the bankers and the ties lose. Money is put in the rack. This is the dirty money, and then you pay with the clean money. The players get paid even money, which makes it easy for us because we just have to pay even money. We don't have to worry about commission. And that is the first hand. Let's see what you guys are saying in the chats real quick. Put up some more bets. Oh, just so you know too, when players are playing on this game, it's sort of like roulette. Whereas if they wanted to bet on the player, on the banker, and on a tie, they could do all 3 at once if they wanted to. If they want to do just the banker and the tie, they could do that. If they want to do just the player and the tie, they could do that. But if they wanted to, they could bet on all of them at once. It's not a good idea. It's like roulette where you're either going to lose or push. It's similar to that. You're either going to push, or if you get paid on the banker, you lose because you lose that commission. You also lose the tie too, so technically it's like a loss for that hand. So it's not really good to do, but you can do it. Your clock's so slow, I see 6 p.m. I am at 3 p.m. right now, Las Vegas time. So Las Vegas time is 3 p.m. So you must be on the East Coast. 6 p.m. on the East Coast. Yeah, Mondays must be so late for you guys. I heard that it's really good for some people. That's why I do it at 7 p.m. Nice. 6 p.m. in Toronto? Cool. Let me know what time it is right now for you guys. Right now for Las Vegas, it's 3 p.m. So can you play just one spot? Okay, so we answered that question, so we're good. Okay, so let's continue. We got all of our bets up. Everyone's ready. Both the player and the banker get 2 cards. Player shows natural 8 and stands. Banker has 2. So because player has a natural 8, remember natural 8 and natural 9 are the first 2 cards are an 8 or a 9. That's natural 8 or a natural 9. Those are automatic winners. So the player automatically wins. We don't say that as a dealer. What we would say is player, natural 8 over 2, and then we would start taking all of the losers. So all of the bankers, all of the ties, all of them lost. So we take all of those. And then we pay the winners. And they get paid 1-to-1. Okay. So let's do another one. And let me know if you guys have any more questions too about this. This is a really good time to ask your questions. We have about 10 more minutes left, so let me know if you have any more questions and I will answer them for you. So we're all set up. Everyone's made their bets. Player gets 2 cards. Banker gets 2 cards. Player has 4. Banker has 2. Now remember, we go over to the player first and we handle the player first and foremost. So with the player, if it's 0 through 5, we're always going to hit. 6 and 7 we stand. 8 and 9 are natural and they're automatic winners. So this is 0 through 5, so we're going to hit. And we get a 2, 4, 6. So we have a total of 6 right here. Now we have a 2 on the banker side. Remember with the banker, if you have 0 through 2, you're automatically going to hit a 3rd card. So we have a 2, so we're automatically going to hit a 3rd card, and we get an 8. So we have 0 on the banker side. So it's player 6 over 0. Player 6 over 0. We take all of the losing bets first, and then we pay all of the winners. Wow, 11 o'clock in the UK. That's late. Wow. Are there any common angles players try to pull on dealers? You can actually mark the cards on Mini-Baccarat. Even though none of the players touch any of the cards, they can still mark the cards. And that's why on some Mini-Baccarat games, you will see a cover on their discard rack, because you could actually mark the cards on this game. So that's one angle. And then of course the normal stuff, distractions, pinching, posting, pass posting, that type of a thing. All things that dealers should be aware of. Again, just like with blackjack, when you deal this game, you always want to case the layout before any card is dealt. Look at every single player's bets. Make sure you know how much is there. If you can't see the bottom portion, don't assume that the bottom chip is the same as the top chips. Actually verify the amount that's there, and that way you know what everyone is playing at all times. So when you do the take and pay procedure, if you're like, oh, this guy was playing $15 and now all of a sudden it's, you know, $510, you know something's fishy. So I hope that answers your question. 5 p.m. in MS. Mississippi, Missouri. Which one's MS again? God, geography was always my worst subject in school. Always. 11 p.m. Wow. I want in. Hey, how you doing? We are actually going to be ending this here in just a few minutes. Let me run through a couple more hands so you guys could see a few more. Again, player gets 2 cards, banker gets 2 cards. Player shows 2, banker has nothing. So we always do player first, and if player has 0 through 5, we always hit. So this is 0 through 5. So we hit, get a 10, so this is still 2. Now we go over here to the banker, and if the banker has a 0 through 2, we are always going to hit. So we have a 0, so we're going to hit, and we still have a 0 because that's a 10. So player 2 over 0. Player 2 over 0. We take all of the losing bets, and then we pay all of the winning bets. Monkey, monkey. Oh yes, that's another thing. In this game, you will often hear people screaming monkey, monkey. What they're saying when they're saying monkey is they're talking about the face card. So the jack, the queen, the king, those are face cards, and they call that monkey cards. So if you're near a table and you hear them screaming monkey, that's what they're screaming for. They want a 10 card to come out. So that's what you hear when you're walking by one of those games. So Scorned One, is it starting to cool off here in Vegas? It actually rained here in Central California a couple times last week. Yeah, it's actually starting to cool off. It's strange waking up and taking the dog walking, and I'm like, oh, it's actually a little chilly. I should put on something with long sleeves. So that's September, and then it will be October, and then we'll have winter. No! I like the summer. I don't like winter. Winters are cold. I don't like the cold. Next hand is bank. Okay, Malik, here we go. Let's see if the next hand is bank. So again, both of them get 2 cards. Player shows 4. Banker has 5. So we're going to go over to the player first, and we're going to deal with the player first. If the player has 0 through 5, we're going to hit. Remember, if it has 6 or 7, you stay. And if it's 8 or 9, it's a natural, and that's an automatic winner. So it's 0 through 5, so we're going to hit. And we get a 5, so that is 9. That's a great hand for this. We have a 9 right here for the player. Next up is the banker, and they have a 5. So they will hit a 3rd card if the player's 3rd card is a 4 through 7. Now remember, with a 4, if the banker has a 4, it's 2 through 7. If it's a 5, it's 4 through 7, and if it's a 6, it's 6 through 7. And that's really the hardest part about memorizing the 3rd card rule. It's just that one section right there. Everything else is pretty easy to remember. So we have a 5, so that's 4 through 7. We obviously have a 4 through 7 right here. We got a number 5. So because this is 4 through 7, we are going to hit the banker and give the banker a 3rd card. So we get a 4, which is 9. So both of them have a 9. Check that out. So we have 9, 9, which is a tie. So all the ties win. And look at that. I forgot to put up a tie. Let's just say, for example, I have $5 up there. And then we'll do 9 for 1 or 8 to 1. So this is 8 to 1, or we could do 9 for 1. Remember, it's exactly the same thing. Okay, let's see what you guys are saying. Malik, $2. You're lost. What are you lost on? I will help you. Let me know what you were lost on, and I will help you. Thank you for the $2. I appreciate it. Pip appreciates it too, because we gave her a $1 treat just earlier, so now we're giving her another treat, and that is our $2 treat for Pip. Pip left. Pip's like, I'm not getting any more treats. There's no reason to be up there. Pip. Oh, there you are. Come here. Oh, good girl. Thank you very much. We appreciate that. And again, too, check out the Super Chat perks. So if you do a certain amount of a Super Chat, you will get a perk for that Super Chat. And that's one of them. Woo! Well, it depends. So UK has different pay tables than America. You will notice this especially on 3-card poker. And it affects the house edge on what the game is. So the UK actually has a lower house edge for 3-card poker because of the pay table versus the 3-card poker you'll find in America. It's the same thing. You'll have different odds and different payouts for different games and different bets. And typically, for the most part, the UK is typically like a better house edge for the players than America is. Do you have super pay Egolite? Do you have SuperPay Egolite or anything in the States? No, we don't have anything like that. Nothing that I've heard of. If you guys are here, if you're listening, if you ever heard of what Snecko is talking about, go ahead and put it in the comments. Thank you for the question, Snecko. Like, we pay $160 for one or $215 for one. Oh, cool. Right on. Bunko, yep, 3 cards. Okay, so I'm glad that's pretty much it. So it looks like we answered all of your questions. It looks like we went through, or I should say we went through a couple hands. We figured out how to play. I gave you guys the rough how-to. Also, if you're watching this later on, if you have any questions, go ahead and put them in the comments. I'll answer them for you. Remember, I'm here for you, so if you have any questions, let me know. And that's pretty much it. So just a quick reminder, Vegas Aces is supported by viewers like you. Donations do make it possible for us to put up all of these videos and bring them to you for free. If you think that this video was worth more than $0, then please donate the amount that you feel it was worth by clicking the link in the description below. Let's see. So that does it for today's show. Join us again next time for our next live stream, which is on Monday, September 23rd at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. We're going to be doing a Mini-Baccarat tournament. Until then, this is Heather Ferris with Vegas Aces, reminding you that education can change the world. Thank you guys. Really appreciate it. Thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you next time. Come on, Pip. Let's get going. Bye. See you. Bye. Boop.